Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. What is up, you hooligans? You crazy crazies. How the heck are you? All of you. What's up? Hey, Fi on TikTok, what's up? Everybody on X, what's up? Everybody on Twitch, what's up? How's it going? Happy New Year's! It's a new year to experience the same old thing as always. Thanks for the follow on the TikTok side. I appreciate it. All right, folks. All right, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know why? Because yesterday on stream, I had some really good friends on, and we talked very, very deeply about some technical things inside of the video game that I'm building. Hot damn. I took them all to task. I completely demolished all of their technical arguments. I won. I am the Giga Chad programmer. I'm the one who wins. Yeah. So I feel good. I'm ready. I'm ready to tackle some code. All right. So, let's see. Let me just finish getting set. Hey, Vamp on YouTube. Sup, bro? Moldy Apple told me that you're saying nice things about me. Is that true, bro? Is it true you love me now, bro? It's true, right? It's true, bro. It's confirmed, bro. All right. Back to this stuff. Okay, let me get some music going.
They promise shortcuts to heaven in the syntax they choose. But the errors in my heart say it's all just a ruse. Their magic can't replace the toil and the grind.
Okay, I think I'm ready. What am I working on today? Well, based on yesterday's conversation, my stupid code here, which is self-admittedly stupid, but not too stupid. just the right amount of stupid. I need to continue down this path. So essentially, I'm writing a bunch of if-else statements and switch cases for battle mechanics for the game. And the problem, yeah, look at my little Sublime guy running around thinking he's hot stuff. The problem is kind of like a readability and maintenance issue here. There are different ways to tackle this problem, which is who should take their turn next, in what order, what are the options that are available for any given person in the turn, things like this. There are different ways to slice this cat. What I've done is I have a flat array and I just enumerate the offset indexes in that array. So I can read into the array by just referencing an enum here and going, I want to read at this index or whatever the enum value is. That's fine. That's fine. The actual issue comes when you need to deal with states. And the way I have states is I still have an enum. You can see here, I have enumerations for states for different scenes. I consider an ocean battle a scene. It's a terminology thing. And then you have to step through it state by state. But that gets tricky because then I have a bunch of these. I have a bunch of if statements here like this, where when my rendering mechanism, which is decoupled from the state of the game, needs to ask, what do I need to render here and why? This gets quite difficult to maintain. What's up, Pure on Twitch? Good to see you. What's up, Dave on YouTube? Man, it's been a hot minute, Dave. Good to see you. Vamp, shut up. Okay, you suck. All right. Just I don't even know why you bother. Okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of these table flips. Nice. What's up, Panda? What's up, Panda? Good to see you. Happy New Year. We're going to start the new year off right with a whole bunch of skill issues in C code, in vanilla C. That's how you start off the new year, right? And yet still, I don't have as many skill issues as React front-end developers, okay, who think they're also back-end developers just because they know React. I still have less skill issues than they do, all right? Just saying. Just saying. That's... Thanks, Pure. Thanks for the lurk. Okay, so I need to tackle this problem here. I've got to figure out what I'm doing with this. I want to start cleaning this up. The reason why is because this is going to get complicated. So as an example, I guess, right now, if I initiate the battle, if my keyboard would actually... All right, so the ships are laid out, and then I want to fire. But if I fire, I automatically just attack the enemy closest to me. What if, though, I want to attack an enemy that's still in range, but not the closest one? Which means now I have to have another state under fire here. So we're already in a few levels in. We're in the game. The game mode is in battle. The battle, that's called the scene. I call it a scene. The battle scene is composed of ships or players with ships that each take an individual turn. Some ships are automated. Some ships are controlled by the player. And then when it's the player's turn, you're going to go into yet another state, which is player's turn. Right? So you have AI, NPC turn, and then player's turn. And then the problem there is you now have to break down the player's turn into even more states. Confirm, which is kind of end turn in our case. Move, fire, and order, which is like order your ships around, or give them like a general order. If you give them a general order, now you're in a menu system. If you fire, now you're in what do you call it? Possible target scene or a state. If you're going to move, you're in another state as well. It's just another sub-state. Right? And so this is going to get a little bit crazy. So I have to find a way to suss out how I'm going to make this code more maintainable. I have a lot of repetitive stuff. Each state has choices that are available for the state, a way for the rendering mechanism, which is the browser in this case, to ask for what choices are enabled, what their text should be. That happens like every state. So why am I repeating a bunch of this code here? Making an actual choice on the state is the act of making a choice is repetitive, but what the choices do is pretty unique to each state. Unless you're in a specific scene where like the shop, I suppose. Exit will be the same thing every time, which is just go back. All right, so you don't need an else after return. Yeah, you're right. I don't need an else after return. I could just console log it out. I'm not actually sure why I did that either. You know what? I actually want to keep the console log. Screwed that up. That's fine. I can clean that up after. I just wanted to tackle those while they were in my head. So if I have something like, let's try something easy. If the rendering mechanism, so a scene is choice enabled, where's the action for that? Let's look for choice enabled. Fine. There we go. Get current scene. Choice enabled. Then we go over the choices by just a number, just 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever, because they're they're in an array. And then we ask for this guy. Get current scene, choice enabled. And I'm betting you $100 when I go look at this, it's gonna have a bunch of if else statements. When am I going to use your chat widget? I keep forgetting you have the chat widget, but the problem, Vamp, is that hey, what's up, Sev on TikTok? How you doing? The problem with the chat widget is I don't know if it pulls in from other if it pulls in from all the different sources, like what Restream does. Restream basically pulls in from like, so it'll do, let me be specific, it'll do X, YouTube, Twitch, and then it'll do the Restream bot so everybody sees it. I can't remember if yours it does those three, Vamp. If it does, I should be using it. You're right. What's up, Arvis? What's up, man? Has Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Rumble. Not TikTok, it's broken. Too many streams. Too many streams, Arvis, yeah. You'll have, I can't, but let me see if I can find a link to it again. Go back in our history. I think it's the joiner. Let's see. Let's see how this works. Okay. Twitch. You're right. It does have quite a few. Look at it. Oh, man. I'll put it on screen in a second. How about, yeah, Rumble? I can enable TTS if you want, if we want the chat to annoy you. Okay. Hang on. I'm setting this up, folks. Okay, just chill. Just friggin' chill. Holy crap. Everyone's screaming in my ear. All right. Push pop. Pushy pop. Pushy pop. So then if I'm going to do that, then what I should be able to do is so I'll turn off Relay mode on Restream for now. And now I can do TTS on chat. Arvis, I will ban the living crap out of you. You have no idea. I turned off the Restream relay. Yeah, Arvis, I will. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me see. So I need to add it as a is it aggressive of me? Yeah, I was literally just gonna start plugging away on some of these. I'm just gonna do Vamp's little thing here. That's fine, Vamp. You do your thing, man. Huh. Ah. I don't know. The widget's not working, Vamp. I don't think. Double the audio from TTS. Yeah. But yeah, no, I hear you. But if I open it, nothing happens, bro. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. There we go. Okay, now I need to do the source. Hang on, let me do the source. Let me open up the desktop audio. All right, now do it. Now do it. Uh, let's do this. No, wait, hang on. Where the heck is the audio? There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. I'm watching Travis in the background, so you might be hearing Travis in the background. But
Little known secret.
It's in the audio section of OBS. Click on Advanced Audio Properties on the gear.
yeah, Vamp, I know how to use OBS, okay? I'm the streamer here, not you. I'm the one who streams. You don't tell me how to stream. I tell you how to stream. All right? Okay?
Barely audible.
Let's go. Let's crank it up. Here we go.
Yeah, volume is very low.
Where? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I am the live stream boy.
You're the live stream boy?
Nice.
Do I have a posh voice?
Yeah, you've got a posh voice. You absolutely do.
Now you can enable the voice command in commands. So we can change voices.
I mean, there's a lot of voices. Holy cow. Okay, I won't play around with it right this second. I'm gonna let this run as is. I'll let this run as is. And then
It's at the top nav bar, not in the modal.
oh, it's at the top nav bar.
Yes, there are several voice providers too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll play around with this and I'll tweak it and get it right. But for now, it's kind of fun to have it up. So, yeah.
Okay, I gotta get going. Thanks for trying it out.
No problem. Thanks, Vamp. See you later, man.
This suits me. Now I can call Spiro a big dummy and sound mildly superior with my posh British accent.
It's true. It's true. Yes. This is accurate and true. All right. I'm going to put the well, hang on. I think what I should do is I've got it. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
The number of if statements in this code makes my eyes bleed out of my pee hole.
It's called the urethra. It's called the it's called the urethra. Just call it what it is. Okay, it's a urethra.
You're a urethra.
I am a urethra. It's true. I am a urethra.
Got 'em.
I like how I like how uh anticlimactic that was.
Spiro is the whole shaft.
What why are you guys being this way? Why are you being this way?
It takes like 10 million hours for what I type to be spoken so.
Yeah. Yeah, and why? Why are you being
As
this way?
Ash.
Who gonna cry?
I might.
You don't deserve it.
Oh, that might have been too loud. Oof. Oof.
Do I get to be British too?
Is this in chat now? What happened to my chat? Vamp ruined my
Big
chat.
oaf.
Pee your pants? Maybe shit and cum?
What's going on with my chat?
This is chat now. Good job.
Whoop whoop.
Whoomp whoomp. Whoomp whoomp. Woom woom. Ah, you guys. You're ruining everything.
Get off stream, Greek men. Nobody is here for you now.
You can edit users' voices in the chatters section. Peace.
Peace.
We want green code and voices.
I mean, do I just take myself off camera and then you just watch the code? Is that it? Am I done now?
Yes. Share stream and green code.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's what you really want, if you really want that, I guess there we go.
All your bases are belong to us.
You asked for this. You all asked for this.
Someone set us up the bomb. You have no chance to survive. Make your time. Move zig, move zig, move zig, move zig.
Yeah. Yeah, zig move, zig move, zig move.
for great justice.
Oh man, Arvis is just gonna be playing with that all day now. That's all this is now. This stream is over. And now it's just this.
You gave me an automated set of keys that jingle. What did you expect?
It's true. It's true.
This is engagement.
It is engagement. You're right. Okay. Well, then I'm going to try. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge myself and the entirety of chat. I'm going to try and stay focused and get through all this state management stuff while you guys have text to speech available on demand. So we'll see how this goes.
All I have to do is type and I get jingly keys, jingle keys, jingly keys.
Jingly keys. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's great. I'm really gonna enjoy the hell out of this. Okay. So let's see.
You say tomato. I say tomato. You say potato. I say potato. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Okay. So I need to take, okay, there's a lot of repetitive code here.
Microsoft Sam better be a voice option so we can soy.
I have to essentially find a different way to do this stuff without repeating the code here. And I think all I really need to do is just wrap this up in a like a general function call. Something like
try writing better code.
I have to go down here. I have to go look at how I'm handling
Case
the
switch.
Got him.
I have to go look at how I'm handling this code. So all I'm doing is get the current scene choice, and if it's a particular type,
Got 'em.
then I check to see if it's enabled. The issue is that I have the state. The scene state needs to tell us if it's enabled. So, you know, I could move this out to this function. But then I have to reach back into my scene and state in order to figure out whether the choice is enabled.
The issue is you have half a brain cell, which is 1.5 brain cells less than you need to rub two together.
So therefore, what I'm ultimately going to have to end up doing is creating a generic choice check function and then storing an array of enabled choices. So if I'm going to do that, what I want to look at is how I'm setting choices to be enabled or not enabled. And it's all right here, current scene, add choice. And then I essentially, if it exists, see, I don't even know if I need this. I'm adding a choice to some array, and then I'm telling it whether I'm telling the renderer whether or not the choice is enabled. That's redundant. That's so duplicative. Yeah, that's right, chat. You can't derail me. Not even with text to speech. Not even with text to speech. Can't even derail me, bro.
You should try storing an array of arrays so you can put arrays in your arrays. Then you can put those arrays in a switch case statement to check if they're arrays.
Okay, so when I do current scene add choice, I
Look at that array, you dirty little coder.
when I add a choice to my current scene choices array, I'm setting a value. When I clear it, the value is always the sentinel value, which I call sentry, which means I actually only really need to do, does the current scene choice index have a value that is not sentry? We assume then that it is enabled. So
Welcome to my 6-hour dissertation on vectors. Vectors are really cool, and really easy to implement. Have you ever used a vector? Have you ever written a vector? Let me show you how to write a vector.
I remember that, bro. That was a good time. That was a good time. And then he proceeded to derail the entirety of chat with it. All right. So, I think what I could do is I can take current scene make choice or current scene choice enabled.
This is the single greatest thing you've ever done. Well done, sir. Bravo, honestly. This is about to get real.
So, I think what I should be able to do is go something like,
Did you try 68K assembly?
if choice, and then the value is not sentry, then
In computing, sequence containers refer to a group of container class templates in the standard library of the C++ programming language that implement storage of data elements. Being templates, they can be used to store arbitrary elements, such as integers or custom classes. One common property of all sequential containers is that the elements can be accessed sequentially. Like all other standard library components, they reside in namespace std. The following containers are defined in the current revision of the C++ standard: array, vector, list, forward_list, dict. Each of these containers implements different algorithms for data storage, which means that they have different speed guarantees for different operations.
Oh, look, another British voice. Points for originality.
Array implements a compile-time non-resizable array. Vector implements an array with fast random access and an ability to automatically resize when appending elements. Dict implements a double-ended queue with comparatively fast random access. List implements a doubly linked list. Forward_list implements a singly linked list. Since each of the containers needs to be able to copy its elements in order to function properly, the type of the elements must fulfill copy constructible and assignable requirements. 2. For a given container, all elements must belong to the same type. For instance, one cannot store data in the form of both char and end within the same container instance.
Shift register right.
this is bad. I'm not returning the
only
right string
vector,
ID here.
list and dict were defined. Until the standardization of the C++ language in 1998, they were part of the standard template library, STL, published by SGI. Alexander Stepanov, the primary designer of the STL, bemoans the choice of the name vector, saying that it comes from the older programming languages Scheme and Lisp but is inconsistent with the mathematical meaning of the term. The array container at first appeared in several books under various names. Later it was incorporated into a Boost library, and was proposed for inclusion in the standard C++ library. The motivation for inclusion of array was that it solves two problems of the C-style array. the lack of an STL-like interface, and an inability to be copied like any other object. It firstly appeared in C++ TR1 and later was incorporated into C++11. The forward_list container was added to C++11 as a space-efficient alternative to list when reverse iteration is not needed.
So
Mona 2, audiences were captivated by the visually stunning animation and laughed at the funny moments in the movie. Reviewers found the soundtrack to be awful, lacking in magic and depth, and the storyline to be boring, lacking urgency, and failing to capture their interest. Overall 3.5 stars.
So
Move.L, a 1, a 1, plus.
Are you learning yet? You're not asleep, right? Wake up. It's time to learn about vectors. Array, vector and dict all support fast random access to the elements. List supports bidirectional iteration, whereas forward_list supports only unidirectional iteration. Array does not support element insertion or removal. Vector supports fast element insertion or removal at the end. Any insertion or removal of an element not at the end of the vector needs elements between the insertion position and the end of the vector to be copied. The iterators to the affected elements are thus invalidate.
So, the problem here is that when I add a choice, I'm not adding the string ID that's meant to go.
Are you proud of yourself yet?
I'm not including the string that's supposed to go with the choice. So I have to have yet another array, and I have to map my choice IDs to a string ID that the renderer can then use as a way to determine what
the elements of a vector are stored contiguously. Like all dynamic array implementations, vectors have low memory usage and good locality of reference and data cache utilization. Unlike other STL containers, such as dicts and lists, vectors allow the user to denote an initial capacity for the container. Vectors allow random access, that is, an element of a vector may be referenced in the same manner as elements of arrays, by array indices. Linked lists and sets, on the other hand, do not support random access or pointer arithmetic. The vector data structure is able to quickly and easily allocate the necessary memory needed for specific data storage, and it is able to do so in amortized constant time. This is particularly useful for storing data in lists whose length may not be known prior to setting up the list but where removal, other than, perhaps, at the end, is rare. Erasing elements from a vector or even clearing the vector entirely does not necessarily free any of the memory associated with that element.
BA dumptis.
Okay. So now what I can do...
Did you hear that? Vectors are like arrays. When do we replace all your arrays with vectors? They sound really good and really easy to implement. A typical vector implementation consists, internally, of a pointer to a dynamically allocated array, 1, and possibly data members holding the capacity and size of the vector. The size of the vector refers to the actual number of elements, while the capacity refers to the size of the internal array. When new elements are inserted, if the new size of the vector becomes larger than its capacity, reallocation occurs. 1.5. This typically causes the vector to allocate a new region of storage, move the previously held elements to the new region of storage, and free the old region.
So I have got
because the addresses of the elements change during this process, any references or iterators to elements in the vector become invalidated. 6. Using an invalidated reference causes undefined behavior. The reserve operation may be used to prevent unnecessary reallocations. After a call to reserve n, the vector's capacity is guaranteed to be at least n. 7.
So now what I can do...
The vector maintains a certain order of its elements, so that when a new element is inserted at the beginning or in the middle of the vector, subsequent elements are moved backwards in terms of their assignment operator or copy constructor. Consequently, References and iterators to elements after the insertion point become invalidated. 8.
Ha ha ha, he said inserted.
So I should be able to return
C++ vectors do not support in-place reallocation of memory. By design, that is, upon reallocation of a vector, the memory it held will always be copied to a new block of memory using its elements copy constructor, and then released. This is inefficient for cases where the vector holds plain old data and additional contiguous space beyond the held block of memory is available for allocation.
So I want to set in the choice string array, the choice ID, right, and then the string ID, right? And so then.
You know what? Never mind. This is boring. Let's talk about something else.
And so then what I can do is I can say this choice has this string, and then I can essentially build up an array of strings that I don't have to go in and reach into the state or the scene system in order to get. I just use the same way that I get the choices in the first place, which is just an array. So that will help to simplify some of this state code. So
in 2013, the first version of React.js was unleashed on the world, and it has taken it by storm ever since. React is a popular open-source JavaScript library used to create robust and dynamic user interfaces for web applications. Created by Facebook, React excels in these three areas: being declarative and making it painless to develop interactive user interfaces, UIs. Being component-based, React builds encapsulate components that manage their own
states and compose them to make intricate UIs, delivering top rendering performance.
Being unobtrusive so you can write new features in React without reformulating existing code. React has been around for almost a decade now, becoming a big hitter in front-end development and now shows no signs of slowing down.
Unfortunately.
Along with its popular sister platform React Native, used for building mobile applications, React is certainly the front-end king of the castle in 2021.
It's like
in
the
this
king of
article, we're going to break down the 9 reasons why React is so popular.
It's
if
popular
rule number
because
1 in
people
software development
followers.
is simplicity and avoiding complexity at all costs, then React.js takes the biscuit.
It takes a biscuit.
One of the top benefits of React is how easy it is to grasp, particularly if you already are a pro at JavaScript. You can install React and be up and running in a few hours, getting straight to work building web applications. The documentation is clear and there is a lot of it. Furthermore, the short learning curve means you can waste less time learning and more time doing. It is almost certainly why React has had such widespread adoption. Furthermore, it makes onboarding internal teams, clients and new projects much easier for web development teams by getting everyone on the same page quickly and easily. React builds robust and intuitive user interfaces. React is declarative. React.js makes front-end development a piece of cake for developers. It allows developers to declaratively describe user interfaces, taking a lot of the heavy lifting out of the coding process while making the code more simple to read and understand. React makes interactive UIs by changing the state of the component and updating the DOM virtually. Cutting out the actual DOM makes creating UIs a more intuitive and less complex process. More on this later.
It definitely
robust
does
and
something.
dynamic.
I don't
you
know.
can rely on the React library to get the job done. It is dynamic in its ability to create an interface that doesn't compromise the speed or robustness of the application. You can be confident in what you create and not have to spend lots of time optimizing the code or debugging issues with the underlying library.
Yeah.
However,
because of the declarative nature of React, any debugging is much simpler to carry out.
Yeah.
Offers a well-supported library. Building robust and intuitive libraries is made possible by the extensive and well-supported React component library and
NPM packages. There are so many pre-built component libraries to choose from, meaning you can pull in a lot of what you need to start building better UIs. The component libraries can speed up development times for those that don't have time to create their components from scratch.
On top of that, React.js has, at the time of writing, 218,009 packages available on NPM, a subsidiary of GitHub. Their growing amount of resources available to front-end developers with React means you'll never be at a loose end. React increase productivity. As we've already seen in this article, React does a lot to simplify and speed up processes. React is great at streamlining workflows, but there is one feature that most developers rejoice at, and that is reusable components. Reusable components. A standout benefit of React is its ability to reuse code throughout an application. It's the React get-out-of-jail-free card as you escape being a prisoner to hours of tedious and repetitive coding tasks. React helps you work smarter, not harder, by allowing you to reuse components you've already written across the same application and on totally different builds with similar functionality. Reusable components also help to maintain a consistent...
What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. Oh no. What happened? Uh-oh. I don't know what happened.
Doesn't have to re-render the entire user interface and speeds up loading times. As well as improving the overall page experience and load times for users, this has a massive impact on SEO, search engine optimization. By keeping rendering times down, search engine crawlers will favor web pages built in React because of their speed and agility. React makes testing easy. React is much easier to test than alternative libraries. Even before sending code to a QA team, developers have lots of testing capabilities right at their fingertips. React allows you to run automated unit tests and integration tests which help you to test individual snippets of code to ensure everything is working as you expect.
Of course. Well, there we go. That's that. I'm glad we got through that. So back to this now. So now what I'm doing is anytime that I add a choice to the available choices in the scene, I then also have to give it a string ID to go with it. So in order to do that,
did I miss anything?
In order to do that,
Jest is the inbuilt testing feature that is shipped with React.js and created by Facebook. It is simple to install for brand new applications and pre-existing apps.
It's simple.
It's not too much more effort. You can see a tutorial for installing Jest here. In terms of larger projects, Jest can help test large quantities of code that work together and help spot anomalies and regressions in the code with confidence, ensuring your project
this was a mistake. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. It was not a good decision on my part. No, you can also see my viewer count dropped significantly. Yeah. Yeah, we're learning about React in the worst way possible. It's the absolute worst. This might actually be a good way to get people to not use React. Yeah, they've all the viewers went to look at React because they were sold on it. Okay, so now that I have an array that will have all the choices and their strings, I should be able to um do a call to that array. Um, conflicting types, implicit declaration. Was he? No, Twitch dropped like 5-6 viewers at least. So, yeah. Yeah, easy. Um okay, so what is it complaining about here? Oh, it's complaining because I don't have it forward declared. I'm using it before I declare it. It's probably this. There we go. Okay. Thanks, Arvis. I appreciate it. You're a good friend, I guess. Maybe. I have to go back to where I was adding these strings, and then uh, here like this, and then do it for we could do it for whatever this guy is. It's a general shop, general shop. And we learned a lot today. We learned that React is the best there ever is, and that it makes front end development easy, and you get the benefit of having a huge ecosystem to not have to like build things from scratch yourself. So there's a huge community. If there's a problem, you can reach out to like the maintainer of a particular project, and you can ask for help with the problem, and then you can wait for them to get around to fixing your problem while your business suffers and bleeds money because of that problem. So but it's not as bad. See, there we go. It works. When I set the string ID to the choice, now I actually don't need these. I can actually just remove these like this, and then make sure it still works. And there we go. So this is going to greatly simplify the code. So yeah, so we learned that now imagine that if you had React and you had vectors, and so then you could have React vectors, and then imagine that you did it using 3D 3D worlds in React with like React 3 Fiber, and so then you use React to manage a 3D world. And what you would do is you create like a nice big world, and it would be based on I don't know, it could be based on like a website, and you're like trying to represent, a whole bunch of cool stuff on your website. You're selling like widgets, and you've decided that what you want to do is you want to have a massive open world exploration as part of your a purchasing mechanic. So when you have to go through the shopping process, you first have to go through a React 3 fiber, which is basically like 3JS with React, if I remember correctly. You got to go through like an entire world of looking at these widgets and fighting them maybe, and then like the checkout process is actually just like a boss battle, and it's all in React, and then you just sit back and watch as React and the 3D world essentially like increase your conversion rates for purchases by like a significant amount. Like I have React to thank for that. That's what I've learned. I think I'm finally sold. I think I'm finally sold on React. I know I trash talk it a lot, and you know, I'm generally just not happy with it. What, like, I talk about it in those terms, but I'm realizing now that if I just created a React, you know what? I actually don't. Here, cool kids use Dre because it's German. Yeah, I'm okay with this idea. I'm going to make you walk 20 minutes to the virtual mall. Yeah. So like, why not take this a bit further? So imagine that Amazon had a video game mode where when you wanted to go and purchase something off Amazon, and you do like the search to find your product. Imagine that got translated into a React 3 fiber, so a 3D version of like all the different shops, and the backend is run by React server components, and then the mobile app is made by in React Native. And so the malls would be like a 3D space in a world, and then you'd walk around in 3D space, and you'd have to like walk around the mall, and all the little pictures of all the products that the stores have are like inside of a mall. But then as you walk around, you have to do things like you have to level up, right? So like ways you could level up. Battle Gnome. Yes, you are. You're using handlebars. You started with vanilla and you couldn't keep with it. Yeah, you're still a little bitch. Yeah. So right. So you're gonna have to take things that are part of your experience in the game, and turn those into like RPG style, like React RPG style UI things, where I guess I could just copy this because it's all the same thing here. Yeah, so you could do something like, as you're walking around, there's a kitten stuck on a tree in the 3D world, and so if you save the kitten, then you get like a stat boost, right? And so then by the time that you get to yeah, I know you're sort of okay with that. I know I'm talking like as if this is a terrible idea, but I don't actually think it's that terrible of an idea. And React will make it happen, and we could do it with React, and it would actually be fun. Okay, so then you're like, okay, so I saved the kitten from the tree while I was walking around in this 3D world, and as a result, I got like a stat boost, and my stat boost is something like an attack or something like that. And so here we go. I have successfully come up with a way, just putting the 3D world aside for a minute, I've successfully come up with a way to extract the all the repetitive code around choices and their strings into a single function, and then call that function, or call that array when the rendering mechanism needs to know what those values are. That's going to remove like at least maybe a few hundred lines of code here. So let's continue with this React Amazon world. Okay, yeah, using A-frame. That's right, Battle Gnome. That's right. Okay, so so you're walking around, and okay, and so then maybe like maybe in another part of the map, there's like a little mall, and you walk into the mall, and in the mall there are kids playing like in a ball pit, and then one of the kids accidentally swallows like a ball, and then you have to go and like save the kid, right? And so then if you save the kid, then you get a stab boost, and so then like it would go towards like your what would you call it, so like your Riz stat, right? And so your Riz stat would be like it'd be pretty good. And so as you do these things walking around this virtual Amazon mall, you're gonna do certain. Okay, so like here's another one. You're walking around, and you go past like a really expensive mall, and here I can remove these, and then like there's a robber. Yeah, and there's like a robber, right? And he took a really expensive thing out of like an Amazon mall, right? And then you stopped him, like you tripped him, and so because you did that, I want to copy this other thing over here. Because you tripped him, and then like the mall police got him, right? The mall police got him. And so then you have like, so now what we have is you have like what do they call that? Reputation stat, right? So you can have like a reputation stat now with like the mall police and all that. And it's like, yeah, like now we're talking, and you get enough reputation and enough of these like different okay, so like here's another one then. So you could walk around the Amazon React 3D mall, and then what you could do is if it's like lunchtime or something, you gotta eat, right? Bros gotta eat, right? You gotta eat. But the question is, what are you gonna eat? And the food court has all kinds of stuff, and some of it is healthy and some of it is not. So depending on the choices like that you eat, then you have like some kind of like buff or debuff, something like that. All of these things add up as you're shopping through literally the Amazon website. Okay, just as you're going through the Amazon website, you're shopping like this. Now, why all the stats? Here's why. Because I actually think it would be bonkers insanely cool if at the end of it you had one of two options. The Amazon React server component, React Native, React game from Amazon on their website as you travel this 3D world shopping. At the end of it, Amazon would look at all your stats. Okay, so now I can remove these because I've put them all in an array so that this can go. It would look at all your stats, and if you're lucky and you've played your cards right and you've got all your stats just right, every once in a while, you'll get your order for free. It'll just be paid for. Your stats are so good, Amazon will cover the cost, right? Just every once in a while. Or what if you got a discount? Yeah, you got like your Riz stat was so high, like you saved so many kittens from trees, that your Riz stat was so high that you got a discount. Now I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking right off the bat. You're thinking, but wait, Spiro, this sounds like a fantastic idea. I want to do this immediately. You're welcome, Jeff Bezos. But then Jeff Bezos asks, how am I going to make money this way? Because this sounds like a lot of infrastructure. I have to have serverless everywhere. I'm going to have to use like GraphQL. I'm going to have to like use some weird mixture of like microservices with weird DBs that do like, you know, all this weird stuff, and then I have to scale it like 600 ways. And like, what if I want to run this on a console? That's going to cost money. Like, how please, Spiro, I'm pretending I'm Jeff Bezos now. Let's see if all my changes to the array strings worked. This would probably be what, Ocean Battle. Let's try Ocean Battle. So yeah, they do work. Nice. So here we go. We're cleaning up. Okay. So then Jeff Bezos is like, Spiro, how am I going to make money off of this? This is expensive. Here's how you make money off of this. Okay. Here's how you make money off of this incredible idea that's worth multi tens of dollars. So what you do, hang on, let me just have a sip of coffee because I haven't had enough. Okay? Cheers. Happy New Year's, everyone. All right. So here's what you do. It's called crypto mining. And you do that on everyone's machine. Profit. That's it. It's over. Cryptos last year, get out of my office. No, what are you talking about? No, that's not what Jeff Bezos would say. Jeff Bezos, if he heard this pitch, would say, this is the greatest idea I've ever heard. And it's all thanks to React. It wouldn't be possible without React. This idea would not exist without React. So, you know, it's good. We're good. We're good. I think, guys, I think the next time I'm on stream, I'm probably going to be like a multi-billionaire. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen now. Now, it's out there in the ethos. I know Bezos is watching this right now. I know Bezos is at home and he's got like 700 screens everywhere and he's literally watching all Twitch at all times. And he just has like this thing that he plugs into the back of his brain, and it just like, it transcripts whatever is on the stream, and it just like immediately like puts it in his head. And so all he has to do is like just listen, just chill out and listen, enjoy life on easy mode for Bezos. And now he's going to take this idea and he's going to call me up any second now, and he's going to be like, yo, dog, I like the way you're dealing with arrays. I really like your idea for a React 3 Fiber Amazon video game style shopping experience. It's dope. Here's $1 billion. Yeah. If the Angular devs found out, no, get out of here. Angular, no. What do you do? You think Angular can handle this level of complexity? Bro, can you run Angular on the server? Yeah, any Angular bros out there, can you run Angular on the server? Nope, didn't think so. That's right, you can't, because it sucks. You can't do it. Okay, so don't give me this Angular crap. It ain't no thing. It's not even serious, and not serious from Harry Potter, like actual serious. Okay, same with like, you think jQuery can run on the server? Can you run jQuery on the browser and also on the server? You can do that with React. Why would you use anything else, especially for this video game style thing? Now, real talk, just real talk for a second. If you thought this was a good idea, if you actually thought this was a good idea, you could do this right now and you wouldn't need anything from Amazon. You could just create an extension in Chrome And as you're browsing Amazon, it would literally convert it into exactly what we just talked about. I've completely forgotten what my string IDs are here. Let me go find it. It's blackjack, stay. Okay. You could do it. Yeah, now we're talking real. Yeah. You could actually like pull this off. So I think there is money to be made here, and someone just has to do it. And it's all thanks to text to speech. We have text to speech to thank for all of this. It's like it's like cash. It's cash for gold. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Are you buying used jewelry? Because yeah. I don't know, guys. I think React. You know, I've had my reservations about React, but ultimately, yeah, I'm now realizing that my reservations are unfounded. And in reality, I need to just, oh, this is back, right? Yeah, go back. I need to just pick a crazy project. I need to kind of swallow my own pill, right? Just pick a project, a crazy project, like a React mall world for purchasing, and then just do it. I just build it. Now, you know what's nice about that is you actually don't even. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't even need to have Amazonian consent. You're making your own framework to run server-side view. Brax, you get a timeout. That's disgusting. Why would you do something like that? That's perverted. That's a perversion of everything sacred and holy. You're the reason why we can't have nice things, Brax. Okay? So here's the thing. You don't need Amazonian consent in order to do discounts or to give someone a free purchase. Okay? Amazonian consent is not required. All you have to do is literally create an extension, confirm and exit. Okay. Is create an extension, keeping the same choices as hello for now. Okay. So then we'll go back here. For the Amazon, for, the Amazon website. Oh, okay. We already have it. Nice. And then what you do is you like charge something for it, right? So it could be what is this? This is blackjack. Let's play blackjack and make sure all this stuff is. And so then you take that money and you take your revenue and you offer discounts and stuff or things that okay, perfect. Yeah, all our strings are good. You just okay, here's you walk through the game. Okay. You got the right stats. You did the right things in our 3D world for Amazon. Now we'll give you a discount on whatever you have in your shopping cart, and you literally have a little shopping cart. So here's how it will play out. All right. So this is what you would do. Okay. You do a nice little animation. You make the player feel good. One sec. You know what would feel great? It would feel great. Okay. Have you ever been out with a friend or something? And you're going, you go to the to pay for some food or something, and then your friend walks up to you and he's like, "Yo, bro, don't worry about it. I got you." Okay, let me make sure that I have all the scene states converted to this new method. I don't think I do. I better do that. I have it here. Oh, it's these ones. It's the ones where Arvis is talking to me as an NPC. It's this. Okay. So at the end of a dinner or something, you go to to pay, and then your friend walks up and like puts his wallet down, and he's like, "No, bro, I got you this time." Right? It feels good, right? So what if you replicated that experience, which you can do so uncannily in React? Because I mean, we've finally come around to admitting that React is the best, right? So what you would do is you'd have a shopping cart full of stuff at the end of your Amazon trip, right? So you've walked around all the malls. You probably saved a few kittens. You stopped a few would-be robbers. Whatever it is that you've done in order to get your stats up. You've eaten the right food. Maybe you had like a little nap on one of those benches. Like you let your wife go and like shop for stuff, and she got to spend the money while you sat there like waiting for her to finish spending time in the mall, right? Mm-hmm. You did the whole like you gave CPR to a kid who was like choking on a ball in a ball pit. Like you did all that, right? And then you went shopping. You spent some money. You've got your stuff, and you're about to go get it like next day delivery. And then, as you're walking through the shopping cart, with your shopping cart, sorry, through the checkout line, the game would literally make you. It would allow you to put your credit card down to pay for it. And as you're about to hit that final pay button, the game says, like it pops up and it says, "No, bro, I got you. I got you, bro." And then it literally just an NPC walks up next to your shopping cart and takes the credit card out of your avatar's hands and just says like, "I got you, bro." I mean, wouldn't you feel fantastic? Wouldn't that feel so awesome? You'd want to play that game like all the time. Imagine. Just imagine. Imagine how you'd want to be like, well, I'm gonna the engagement level is like it's through the roof, right? Because you have people who are like fully fully sucked into the Amazon experience, right? Okay, how about this? I actually don't know why you couldn't do this for Twitch or for YouTube. Why not walk around a React 3D world where you're literally choosing between different streamers or videos, but as you're doing that, you're playing other elements of the game, and those elements of the game do things like you get 1 month subscription free of the pro subscription of YouTube, no ads. Yeah, you did the right things. You played. We cryptoed your machine hard, right? There you go. Why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you do that with X? Like where you're going through posts. So it looks like all the choices are now set up. I have removed a bunch of code. That was worth it. That made things a lot easier. So I just got to pick another place now to make the code better, or break the code down so that there's less repetition. I guess I want to focus on the battle state. So as you're going through posts written by people on X, and they're like, like today I took like the nicest like poop I've ever had, and it was fantastic, because basically that's what X is about. It's just people like just dumping their stupid like whatever shit comes into their brain. They just like shit it into the toilet that is X, and then we all just sit around as the water swirls with all that shit flying around, going like, hey, I kind of like that piece of shit, but that piece of shit is too stinky for me, or it's too brown, or it's got too many nuts in it, or whatever the fuck ever. Anyways, so if you, instead of you just like reading a wall of text, what if X rebranded with React everywhere? Okay, so the thing that I gotta do is pick like take some of this functionality out of here and put it into its own function, so it's not inlined here. I think those are the things I have to pick out. So I could probably move this over and then start picking apart. So, right. So X would do a rebrand. It would do something like, okay, as you're scrolling through, what's really happening is you're doing exact same thing as what's going on in what we already talked about in the Amazon case. So in the Amazon case, you have a bunch of malls or a bunch of shops, and you walk around and you do stuff with them, and you interact with like the things in those shops. You put them in your cart, and then your cart gets bigger or something, and you do other things, right? So you do the same thing, but you do it for all these posts, and like liking something or muting someone or blocking something. Blocking someone is actually like an actual act that you do inside the 3D world of new React X, right? So far, are you with me? Okay, now. Everyone likes a good poop. That's right. So now what you got to do is you have to, well, hang on. First, let me just have a quick look at this. This is if I do the choice of fire. If I make that fire choice, then the assumption is that I am in the player's state. So, okay. So then, okay, wait. We have to put the X rebrand on hold for a second. The reason why I have this functionality in line here is because I don't see why it's any better to have a separate function for this when I'm going to have to take all this code right down to this, because the player is taking the action of firing the cannon. I would do like a player fire cannon, and then in my player fire cannon function, I would have to check if current scene is equal to player turn, and then do all that stuff, right? I don't see why that's better than just having it in line right in here, where I've already pre-filtered in my switch case that I'm in the player turn. Right. So I get why, like, it's annoying to see the indentations and the if statements and all of that, but I just don't see the benefit of extracting this out into its own function when I'm just going to have to check if I got here already. It's like, I checked I got here, I made a choice, run a function, now go check I got here again. It's so weird. Why would I do that? This, Arvis, this. Why do I care? So look, I'm in the player's turn, right? And then the player the player gets the excuse me, I'm sorry. The player gets the choice here, move, fire, order, right? And then I pick fire. And if I pick fire, there we go. I fired a cannon. That's what runs right down right here. It's fire. Holy crap, what was that? I heard a noise. What's the noise? Oh, it's Travis. Travis, what's up? Welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Travis, I had your stream in the background, man. I was watching. How was your how'd your stream go? Yeah, give him a shout out. Hope you had a good stream, man. Listen, folks, I'll give you the quick rundown of what we're doing here. You guys ready for this? First of all, yeah, Ali, I know. First of all, I have come up with a complete rebrand for Amazon, where Amazon and X are rebranding the entire experience of shopping using React 3 Fiber, React on the server, and React as a native mobile app, but in a 3D world where you walk through the Amazon shopping shops and the stuff they have in a 3D world, and then you go and like have a little shopping cart and you put stuff in, and then what as you're doing that, you do things to have like RPG stats, like maybe there's a kitten stuck in a tree and you save the kitten stuck in a tree, and so then you get like a boost in classic dingus ear oriented programming. That's all we're doing here. So you get like a boost in your stats, like a Riz stat, like if you like give CPR to a kid who's choking on like one of the balls at the ball pit, right? So so at the end of it, then this thing will sometimes give you a discount on your purchases depending on whether you've done the right things throughout the game. How do you make money? Well, you might ask. Here's what you, thanks Travis, thanks man, I appreciate it, have a good night. So I'm skipping a lot of steps here, okay? I'm running fast because I need to give my intro to all the new people, and thanks for the follow, whoever just did that. I'm not paying attention right now. So how do you make money? It's called crypto mining. So you just have a Chrome extension that runs an entire React.js 3D world for Amazon that crypto mines people's machines. Jeff Bezos is gonna, next time you guys see me on stream, I'm gonna be a billionaire. All right. Okay, folks, welcome in. If you're watching what Travis is doing, then you're gonna like what we're doing, because Travis is a GigaChad C programmer, and I am also a GigaChad C programmer. I'm not afraid to say it. Okay, I'm just gonna own it. And I think if you asked anyone in my chat whether I'm a GigaChad programmer or not, they would all say 100% yes. Oh my God, he's the most GigaChad programmer. Ain't45, thank you for the follow. Ali, thank you for the follow. Why am I a GigaChad programmer? Here is the premise of my stream, folks. The premise of my stream is that the software industry, the tech industry as a whole, has become a very shitty place. We're in the opposite of whatever the golden age of programming is. In order to prove that, and not just say that, I'm going through, for example, on some of my streams, scientific papers and articles that provide statistics on things like security vulnerabilities, etc. For example, like I really love showing people this. This chart. This chart is absolutely bonkers. When you do npm install everything, when you have like 600 gigabytes of DLC for a video game, when you have React, I hate React. Okay, when you have React doing this should be the pinnacle of front end, right? This is software. This is front end. When you have things like Rust, which are run by committee, things like this. We leave so much on the table in terms of how much hardware we're actually using or wasting, running entire browsers to do code editing, things like that. So generally speaking, that's the premise of my stream. Sometimes I go over the more like statistical scientific side of things, in order to also lead by example. Me, a high school dropout who did not finish grade 11, who lived on the streets and worked for free, did construction to get to pay whatever bills I could pay, and then worked for free in order to get experience with web development so that I could be here today. Dumb like me can do something crazy. What, for example, you're going to hear you can't handle vanilla CSS without something like Tailwind. You can't handle vanilla JavaScript without something like React. There are way too many complicated things, moving parts. How can you handle it by yourself? You can't do stuff with like, hey, Ain't45, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it. The DOM is slow. The DOM is too slow to do, complicated things. Really, bro? You want to do vanilla C? You want to write vanilla C as one big file, and you want to do flat arrays everywhere, and you want to have no structs and no pointers? You can't do it. You're too stupid. That's what the entire tech industry tells us day in and day out, and entire businesses are built on this foundation. And I'm calling bullshit on all of that. And in order for me to call bullshit on all of that, I have to actually try and prove that dumb over here can actually accomplish something. So here's what I'm doing. It's I'm building a video game. It's based on my favorite game of all time called Uncharted Waters, New Horizons. Let me get a proper thing up here. You essentially pick one of 6 characters it's from the Super Nintendo days, by the way. This was insanely complex for the time. You pick one of 6 characters, you build a fleet of ships, you travel the world. There's an entire merchant trading economy system with like investments and political powers and influence and things like that. Piracy, you have to manage like your cargo, how much water do you have on board, how many cannons. I mean, it's crazy complicated. Favorite game of all time for me. So I'm rebuilding it on the browser with my own twist. And so I'm writing vanilla C. I'm using flat arrays. I'm not using any structs. I'm not using any pointers. I am compiling it to WASM. WASM 32. I'm not even using standard libraries. I've had to write my own stuff. Then the WASM side acts as a block of memory inside the browser. And so then on the browser, all I'm doing is I get Tcash. Thanks for the sub for 6 months. Holy crap, man. I really appreciate it. Starting a friggin' train there. I really appreciate that, man. So I'm going to try and focus here and keep going, but I appreciate it, guys. So then then I'm using vanilla JavaScript. There's no frameworks. There's nothing. I'm managing it all on my own with the help of chat too. And then I just reach into the WASM memory. I call functions, etc., and manage the game state. My browser acts as a decoupled renderer for the game state. So the game state is all contained within all the C code, which is WASM. My rendering mechanism is all the JavaScript stuff. And I also have CSS, vanilla CSS, really basic vanilla CSS. Right here, it's super simple. There's nothing to this, and the hits just keep on coming, bros. This is in a single embedded file, which means all you need is this HTML file. I am literally base 64ing the WASM output directly into the HTML file when I'm compiling it. That means that if I want to send this game to anybody, I just have to ship out one HTML file, and everything is included inside of it, right? And so what you might ask, well, okay, but is it performant? Yeah, the DOM is not as slow as you have been led to believe. It's really friggin' fast, and we're doing animations and stuff is moving around, and we've got a little, cannons flying around and ships attacking each other and all of that stuff. That's what we're working on right now. And just to really drive this home, we've even got 3D, boys. We've even got 3D. Here, let me try doing this. Maybe a better example would be if I actually initiate this, and then if I turn 3D on, and then if I just do like a little bit like this, and then I go, look at that. Look at that. We have 3D in pure vanilla CSS. So the entire tech industry is completely fucked. And I'm trying to lead by example here by doing crazy, insane shit and completely questioning the paradigm of like, why do we need to do the things we're doing in the way that we're doing them in the industry when me, dum-dum here, can do a hell. I feel like Iron Man in the cave with a box of scraps building an iron suit. And I'm like, why are you guys complicating this? We can do so much more with so much less. That's my spiel. Thanks again for the subs. I'm out. So there, I made Bezos $1 billion, and there you go. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks again for the subs. Thanks for the hype train. Thanks for the follows. I appreciate it. So, all in a day's work. It's just, it's crazy to me that, anyway. Okay. So now that I've gone through that, you guys are all welcome to interrupt me at any point and ask questions. And again, thanks again for the subs. I really do appreciate it. That was a lot of talking. One sec. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and talk about stuff while I fix some code in my state management in C. So just so that you know what we're working on tonight, it's unfortunately kind of boring. Probably like some of the stuff that Travis has to do sometimes. I'm sure he feels bad because he has to work through boring things. But essentially, what I need to do is clean up some of my state management for the battle system, and I will explain my conundrum as to why I need to do things in a particular way. Just give me a sec. Let me just take a sip here. Travis's work is all boring. Damn, shots fired. By the way, Travis is awesome. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, he is a Giga Chad. He's a real Giga Chad. I'm a wannabe Giga Chad. But man, Travis is like, yeah, just watch him code, and it's like, I don't know, it gives you an inferiority complex. It really does. It's like, I don't even know if I can make the joke. Okay. Hang on. Sorry if this is an extremely dumb question. Hang on, let me pull this up over here. It'll be easier for me to see and for you guys. Why not use the standard library in C? One of my friends is also working on a project in C, a font shaper. They don't use the standard library, not even stuff like malloc. All right. With WebAssembly, I have a limitation. So the way that I compile WebAssembly, I'm trying to do it in the most minimal way possible. So typically what you would do when you are compiling, say C code, or even like other bindings like in Odin or in Zig or something like, or Rust, what you're going to do is use something like mscripten, or use a binding that comes with the thing that compiles to WebAssembly. And what these things do is they provide you the ability, it's glue code, to provide you with the ability to, for example, communicate with JavaScript or include the standard library with it. It essentially sorts out all those layers for you. I've removed all of that. I don't want it because a lot of that, as part of the entire principle of why I'm streaming, which is to question the fundamental things that we seem to be doing by default without even thinking about them, I'm asking, why do you need this? How far can you get without all of this? So that means that if I'm not going to write the glue that helps me to bring in the standard library, I'm going to just assume that I can't have it, because by default, you can't have it. That's just the way it is by default. And I'm not going to write the glue to include it. I could, but I'm not going to unless I absolutely need to. Even my communication between JavaScript and WebAssembly is extremely limited. It's the only time WebAssembly calls to JavaScript is to just call a console log and spit out a message so that I can see what WebAssembly is trying to tell me through messages on my browser console here, right? So these come from WebAssembly. That's the only time WebAssembly calls JavaScript. That's the only glue code. The rest of the time, JavaScript reaches into the memory of WebAssembly. So it's strictly one directional. So I'm trying to be extremely strict on purpose to see how far I can push the boundaries. It's the same reason why someone might ask, why on earth would you do 3D and CSS? Right? It's like, because I want to see how far I can push it, because the entire thing that I would question is, why do you need to have anything else to do 3D on the browser? And how performant can you make 3D on the browser? And look at it, and I think we've proven that asking these questions takes you really, really far, because without the standard library, I still built out my own for the logging thing, for the strings. I built my own log formatter, my string formatter. There we go. That's part of the standard library. I just hand wrote it. There's some stuff missing, but I got it. I figured my way through it. And then we're literally just turning on 3D on a whim. Right? So that's kind of like the high level overview. If hopefully that answers the question. That was a long answer. You're like the Amish of full stack development. Handmade hero for the web. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah. Feel free to ask questions, whatever questions you want. Okay. I'll keep an eye on chat. If anybody wants to ask more questions or just chat away, it's fine. So here's the deal. So we were halfway through talking about how we would rebrand X. So we take the idea of the Amazon 3D shopping cart system and we apply it to X so that you could, instead of scrolling through a wall of text, you explore a React 3-fiber based world, and you use React server components on the back end, and then you use React Native Mobile for the mobile app. And by the way, the reason why I'm talking about all this is because I absolutely fucking hate React. I think it is the cancer. It is the one single cancer, like the most cancerous thing that we have ever created in the tech industry. I'm not joking right now. I am dead serious about that. I hate it with a passion. I trash talk it all the time. I also think the same is true of pretty much every other web framework. It is the path of least resistance to the most idiotic paradigms that a person could introduce into the tech industry. It has barely any gatekeeping. It is much harder to introduce stupid paradigms in things like backend systems, embedded hardware systems, things like that. And so just the web is just like it's the go-to place, and React is like the most cancerous of all the cancers. But for the funsies, for something to talk about while I'm trying to figure out, clean up on my code here, we were talking about rebranding X, like, rebuilding X, and like with nothing but React in a 3D world. But let's pause that for a second. Here's my issue. As you can see, this is kind of hard to read. And I really hate to make decisions based on subjective preferences, like it's hard to read. And I'm sorry, everyone who, if you don't know, I can't handle colors. My brain can't handle colors. This is not a judgment of color-coded syntax highlighting, autocompletes, LSPs, things like that. I don't use any of it. It's just because the way my brain works, all I see is colors. I can't read the code behind the colors. I never register anything that I hit autocomplete. I go back like the next day and I completely forget stuff that I've done because of autocomplete. It just breaks my brain. So, I know some of you like the colors. It makes it easier for you to read. I'm sorry, I just can't work that way, unfortunately. So I've got the green mode up because it makes me feel like a hacker. Okay. So there is a subjective argument that this is hard to read and therefore maintainability is hard. Subjective argument aside, I can deal with hard to read. I don't really care as much about that. I can figure that part out. I just have to read it properly. It just takes a little bit more effort. Okay, we're all professionals here. We can read proper. Okay, so I don't care about the subjective argument about why this is hard to read. However, the question becomes, is this hard to maintain from an objective point of view? Something along the lines of, here's the example I was coming up with. It was, where is it? Here. I have a series of states that in a flat array. Actually, it's not even a flat array. It's not even a flat array. It's just an enumeration. Where is it? It's right. Almost there. Almost there. Right here. It's just an enum full of states. It's not even really an array. And all I do is I switch. I track the current state I'm in if I'm in the scene of ocean battle. So the ocean battle is this. And when I'm in here, I obviously have to take things one step at a time. Oh, you're a black and white and gray guy? Yeah. Yeah, battle gnome. Okay. So when this is the player's turn, right? So we're in this state. Great. We've called the function called scene ocean battle, and we're telling it the current state is player turn. Then we tell the state, these are the options you have available. Perfect. We have confirm, move, fire, and order. So far, not this thing. That's for the streaming. This thing. So far, so good. When I choose fire, you can see I shot some stupid cannonballs over to the closest enemy I could find, right? So let's go down to fire. It's right here. And I have inlined the functionality that just made the cannonball animate there. Well, actually, technically, this is only telling the renderer, the JavaScript and CSS to do it. It's picking a target and then saying we attacked the target and we reduced its hull. Go render that. And then on the HTML side, we render the thing you see on screen. So the question becomes, why shouldn't this be inline right here? Because the other way to do this, which is what I was going to do at first, and now I'm questioning myself, it would be like you take all this code out, and you have a function called whatever, scene, ocean, battle, choice, fire. But then what you would do is in this function, let me zoom in. You would have to check if current state equals player turn or something like this. And then you do all the stuff. And I don't understand why that's more beneficial when I'm already, it's like first I check that I'm in the right state. Then I check that I've made a decision, a valid decision. Then when I've checked that a decision is valid, I execute the decision and I go back to check that I'm in the right state. But I've already checked that I'm in the right state. So what is actually bad about keeping this in line with this action? Because I was about to go refactor a bunch of these inline functions, but I just can't see it. I can't see the problem by keeping them in line so that you know exactly if you did the fire here, you know what's going to happen. Maybe there's a problem with like moving between scenes. Possibly it might get hard to read. Like if the cannon attack was successful, move to the next scene. No, sorry, move to the next state in the scene. And so you kind of have to read through a bunch of like go-to statements to figure out which state led to which state, possibly. I don't know. I don't see I think that's subjective again. It's a subjective. Do I like reading this and figuring it out versus an alternative option, which is to build up an array of valid states that should be run in a sequence. It's like a stack, last in, first out, and then reading through that. What is the actual difference? I'm not seeing a clear path there. So maybe that tells me that I shouldn't refactor this yet. That's probably what it's telling me. So then what could I refactor? What else could I do to make the battle mechanics easier to maintain? And probably what I need to do now that I'm thinking about it is instead of worrying about huge instead of worrying about huge chunks of functionality like here, or like when you do the cannonball fire, or when we set up like the turn order or things like that, instead of worrying about should it be inlined here or not, this whole block of code, why not worry about the individual little pieces inside here? So do we actually need to inline, let me see here. I want a really good example. One second. Okay, maybe here. Why not make this a function, its own function, so that you can contain the logic inside the function and reuse it if you need to. Or things like this. This is so small. There might be other reasons why you want to clear the fleet. Like at the end, you might want to do want to do something to clear the fleet data, which contains all the ship data, because you want to the battle has ended, you've won, and you want to clear all this stuff. So that's probably a better path, is this boring, slow, tedious, take little pieces that don't make sense to keep in one place and put them in a function. That's probably what I want to be doing. Hey, PK. Most of the time, you can reverse the condition inside the if statement and make functions return early. Do you use this method to make the code more readable? Yeah, so I think I have an example. Here. In when I make a choice, so what happens is over here, one of these, right? Confirm, move, fire, order. Then I pick one, let's say fire, and when I pick this, JavaScript goes and tells the WebAssembly, or my C code in this case, you've made an action. That's what this is. Let's switch on the action. And the action is going to map to an integer that maps to the enum, which is the available actions we can make. So the action in this case is I made a choice. So it's make choice. And then subsequently, it's which choice did I make? And so as part of this block, you can see that I can exit out early if I've made a valid choice that I can deal with, like right here, right? And then I just break out of the entire thing here. I don't keep going, right? So these are things that I'm already sort of doing, and I could even do it. I can do it here. I could, if I'm trying to determine if I can do an attack, and this is all this code is to figure out, am I still alive? Is there a target in range? I check for coordinates, things like that. If I'm doing an attack, I could do an early bailout where the attack has to happen first. And then if it doesn't bail out early, then it then it continues to, okay, the next person takes their turn. So I think there is some benefit to extracting some of these pieces and putting them in their own function instead of worrying about this whole thing as a whole. If that makes sense. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I just have to pick some spots and do it. So it's, yeah, it's a good point, PK. Okay, so while I'm working on that, let's talk about how X could make $1 billion. We've already talked about how Amazon can make $1 billion. Now, here's what X would do. So, as you're reading a wall of text, what you're really doing is traversing a 3D video game world built with React 3 Fiber. And each post is just another avatar that's available in this 3D world. So it would be a Chrome extension, just like in the Amazon case. And you would, it would read whatever you're currently seeing on X, and then it would generate the 3D world and let you like kind of walk through it. And so people's like PFPs would just like it would be like somebody stapled a piece of paper on a 3D body, you know, like that's what it would look like in the 3D world. And it's got like their picture on it, and then it would have like their post, right? And then you could like talk to them like an NPC and go like, hey, what did you say before? And it would, you know, it would take you through like their history of posts or things like that. Now, what you want to do is you want engagement, right? So here's what you're going to do for engagement. You're going to take something like, okay, hang on. This is random. Okay, yeah, we need to get random number for damage because we haven't sorted out our math for damage. And then we pick the current ship, we make sure the current ship is not dead, and then we if it is dead after we give it damage, then we increment the total number of ships destroyed. And if 3 or more ships are destroyed, we have the arbitrary victory condition, and then we keep. If not, then we keep going. And that's what the early break there is. So okay. And so ocean battle data gets cleared out, and then we go next person's turn. Okay. So in order to get engagement in X in this 3D world, essentially what you're going to want to do is take actions like where you do the heart thing, or repost, or what's the other one that you can do? Mute, block, things like that. You want to take those actions and you want to have them represented in the 3D game. So as this 3D game is crypto mining on your machine, which is how you're going to make money off of this, if you do like a heart on a post or something, then the heart could be something like you give the 3D avatar a pat on the head or something, or like a pat in the back, or you like I don't know, you do like how like some animated emote thing, right? If you mute them, then essentially what you do is you put a paper bag over their head. That's what it would be. The representation would be a paper bag over the 3D avatar's head of the person you muted. And if you block them, a hole opens up right behind the person in this 3D world, and then you Spartan kick them into the hole, and that's the block mechanism on X. Imagine the engagement. It would be through the roof. All in 3D, it'd be through the roof. Okay, so I think I'm kind of figuring something out while I'm talking stupid stuff here. What I'm figuring out is that we actually have a bunch of things that we haven't done, we haven't completed in the battle mechanics. So we're not properly getting like movement range. We're not properly getting cannon range. We're not determining like statistics, things like that, or like doing like a little algorithms like what's your ship made out of and things like this. So it might be better for figuring out the pain points if we completed some of this functionality, including some of the rendering. Like, this is terrible rendering. And you can't even go kitty corner. Yeah. So it might be better if we completed a few things instead of worrying about how maintainable is the code in its current state. Okay. So there's an entire mechanism we don't have, which is you can do a cannon attack, but you can also do a crew attack. We also don't have a proper check on whether you've taken all the available actions as part of your turn. For example, you can move and fire, or you can just do one or the other, then hit confirm, and that's kind of like end turn. So we don't even have all of our all of our, what would you call it, mechanics, I guess. We don't even have all of our battle mechanics created yet. So given that, it's going to be hard to tell exactly how difficult this is to manage. So we could attempt to just kind of hack our way through this for a little bit. How about how about we implement the mechanic where you can do movement and fire? So just because you did a fire does not mean that it's the end of your turn. But let's just start with that. So what am I doing in fire? When I go into fire, I do all the stupid whatever. I check if something is in range. Then I go to cannon attack mode. The reason why I go to cannon attack state mode, whatever state, is because this tells the renderer, hey, you need to render, let's see if I can show it, right here. Ship is attacking with cannon. It is a way for the rendering mechanism to understand that an action has taken place that it needs to render, and it might want to have user input to confirm that the attack happened, which is exactly what we're doing. Then the user input confirms it. And once it's confirmed, this is a little weird. I do have to admit, why am I running the damage actions? Why are we running it in confirm here? Why are we running the damage actions in confirm here? But let's keep going. So you confirm it. If we've met our arbitrary victory condition, we go to victory. If not, we go to the turn. And the turn figures this, the turn state figures out whose turn is it? Is it the player's turn or is it an NPC's turn? And I think it's here where we increment. Yeah, we either we're not attacking or we have attacked. And see, okay, I already thought ahead about this. I already have a way in the ocean battle data to track that you have attacked. Here we go. So now what I should be able to do is moved, right? Did we move? Okay. And so our logic would be let's set moved to false in case it's true. Because if we've reached this point, we're moving on. We're incrementing the turn order. Someone else is taking their turn. It's just happening. So we want to reset those values. The okay. So we'll take this out and we'll go moved and attacked. Okay. And then we're going to go if this and this. It's just a poor man's version of this. Okay. Nuclear holocaust? You mean like the one time that dude deleted left pad? Oh man, that was, hey Lem, how's it going, man? That was crazy. Okay, so at this point we know that we can automatically move. Yeah, happy new year, Lem. Yeah, happy new year everyone, by the way. At this point we know that we can end the turn for whoever's turn it is, whether it's the players or the NPCs. This is an automated attack. However, this is a player attack. Okay, so then let's go over to so this would be okay, moving. This is what we want. We want to go to moving, and we want to say if we've moved set this to true. What we do not want is to automatically update the turn order. We want to remove it. If we move, we go back to take turn. And at the top, we're going to figure out, here, take turn. We're going to figure out who's who, player or NPC, and what you've done or not done. So I want to copy this. This is for the NPC. I want to copy this for the player. So the player, not here, would be here. Okay, this automatic. Okay, right. You can, when you hit confirm, you're ending the turn. Well, what I actually want to do is up here, because this is what moves you to the player's turn state. But in actuality, we want to be checking. Yeah. We want to be checking whether the player has moved and attacked, then incrementing the turn order. Otherwise, go to the player's turn. Now, I saw another one of these pieces of logic. So that's not it. Fire. Okay, here we go. So right here with fire, where is attacked? Right there. I don't want to increment the turn order here. If I pick fire, what I want to do is just execute it and then go back to take turn. So that's all there. We do the cannon attack and then we go back to take turn. Now in the case that I've selected fire, but I can't actually do fire, we want to run take turn anyways. So I'll set a break here. Okay, maybe I don't trust that. Maybe for now I'll wrap it with the else statement. So that way if for some reason I ended up in a state where I'm going to fire, but I actually can't fire because I'm destroyed, it shouldn't run. If I build this, what are my errors? Use of undeclared identifier at 4362. 4360. Okay, here. So what is attacking? It's this. And I actually don't even need it. I only want to check if you have attacked and moved. All right. Now, what I would expect to see is something like I would open this up. I just want to think this visually out in my head so I can create like a test case in my brain. I'd confirm it. I would, let's say I want to do move and fire. So I would move first, down, and then fire. And then all the NPCs take their turn. And that does not work proper. Yeah, that doesn't work. So there's an issue. I have worked this. If only I had done this in React. If I had done this in React and mixed in like a little bit of Vue, right, and add some Tailwind, and then like compile with Babel the entire front end, this wouldn't be a problem right now. This would be done. So what's my issue here? My issue is that when I hit confirm, it's like skipping a turn or something. Ocean battle turn order. Current ship ID. Save me React. Come and save me. Okay, let me put on just like a little touch of music in the background. There we go. Okay. 9 million years later, I finally written characters correctly. Character? What are you talking about, Arvis? So it skipped to the second ship. Why did it do that? If I'm here, I get timed out. If I'm up here, does the placement phase runs? We have that. Cool. So we've set everything up. That's perfectly fine. When we go to take a turn, did I break it maybe here? So if moved and attacked, is 1. Okay, let's put a console log here, and it's going to be player's turn ends. Okay, player's turn ends. That doesn't make any sense. And I think I know why. It actually should be if it hard equals to true. That's what we want. Because we're not properly checking the value here. Let's oh crap, come on. There we go. Let's give this a go. Move. There we go. Okay, good. So we're gonna move. Then we're gonna fire. And that's the end of the turn. Then we're gonna move. And then we're gonna fire. Oh yeah. First try. Okay, then we're gonna fire. Then we're gonna move. Frickin' hell, we did it. Oh wait though. Wait. If I move. Oh crap. That's not what I should be seeing here. I shouldn't be seeing the second ship in the move phase. We have definitely ended the turn. We skip over. Okay, maybe what we want to do is actually take out the else statement here. Yeah. How could this not work? Okay, fire, move. There we go. Fire, move. That was weird. Oh, okay. So now we have another problem. I did. I forgot to carry the one. I actually forgot to carry the one. Here's our other problem. When the second player's ship ends its turn, it increments the turn order to the first NPC's ship. Unfortunately, we're in the section, we're already in the section here where we're in the player's turn, which means that we end up treating that NPC as a player. So now, just add AI and call it a day. Yeah. Now, I want to take this portion and essentially add a check. So when I increment the turn order, which by the way should probably be its own function. So right away now I can tell we're going to need this as a function. We use it a lot. So perfect. We're starting. We're doing it, boys. We're cleaning up, boys. Let's go up here. Void, scene, ocean, battle, increment, turn order, pre-increment madness. Yeah. Okay. This is good. And this is self-contained. It does not need any other information except what it has access to at the global scope. So we'll go down here and we'll replace this with this. Perfect. I wonder why. I know why I'm off by one. I know every single time. I'm keenly aware. It's depressing. Why do you have to do this to me? Okay. We increment the turn order, but then we have to do all these checks again, which is like, is the fleet of the current turn order the player's fleet or not? And then if not, we want to do all this stuff down here, which is the automated NPC thing. which means that we have to, okay, let's brute force it. We're going to brute force it, and it's going to be ugly, but we're going to brute force it and then figure it out. We could just go back to learning vectors, but then I would have to ban you permanently. No, I'm not turning on the robot voice again. I just scare away the few remaining viewers there are. All right. So here, we're going to do all this again. Then we're going to check this again. This is nested terribly. It's a terrible nest. But we're going to sort it out. Okay. And if, come on, if not, then somehow, you can take out this to do, move to NPC play. All right. So a dumb man's version of how we could determine that. Determine whether the NPC goes or the player goes in this function. It would be NPC's turn. And so you would go if NPC's turn. Actually, we set this to true. Yeah, we'll set it to true. And then we'll falsify it. That's what we'll do. So we don't need this. We'll go NPC's turn is false. And then we just leave the player turn. It should run. Like that. And okay, now the question becomes, do I need to falsify it at the top as well? I got to think this out for a minute. So you come in, it's the player's turn. You increment the turn order. And then you would assume, so you do this, NPC's turn, true. You would assume true in case it ever ended up in a false state. And then you'd make sure it's false. And if it's false, you take the player and play their turn. If it's true, okay, let's see how far this gets us. I'm missing a friggin' frigger. I'm missing a frigger. Oh, am I missing a curly? Well, that would explain why my IDE was being weird. Where is it? Where is my missing a thing? Here, it's right here. There we go. Okay. Confirm. Nope. That didn't work at all. That went terribly. I made things abundantly worse. Oh no. Oh no. Things are much worse. We assume that the NPC, it's the NPC's turn. If we're in player mode, I see. We do have to falsify at the beginning. All right. Confirm. Okay, there we go. Fire. Move. Move. fire. Now, no, it's not. It's still not incrementing. Because I know why. Because the ship is attacking, but we're not setting moved to true here. We're missing the truth statement of movement right here for the NPC. Now, the other problem is that in some cases, you can't do an attack. There's nothing in range. How do you end the turn of an NPC if they cannot find something in range, although they move? I suppose what you could do is you can make the assumption that one way or another, an attack is going to happen. If they can do an attack, they're going to do an attack. If there is nothing in range, then you just assume truthfulness on the attack anyways, because they would have if they could have. So they would just end their turn. Hey, Mystified, how's it going, man? Happy New Year. So move, fire. Move, fire. Okay, something's up here. Move, fire. Move, fire. Now, if I do confirm here, I should not see this ship move. Yet I do, and it fires, which means I'm not doing an increment of turn order somewhere. Let's go look at our cannon attack and the confirmation. The confirmation of the cannon attack takes us right back to our take turn function. When we come back to the take turn function, somehow we're ending up in a place where the NPC's turn is set to true. So let's console log it out. NPC's turn, false. Sure, Trun, false, whatever. Move, fire. Move, fire. NPC, really? Okay. But the turn didn't end. Okay, so it does end, and we're not getting to that point. All right. So somewhere outside of this, the player's turn ends. Somewhere outside of this, we're setting it to true. Yes, this is true. Then we run the NPC, but we're somehow stuck on the last ship that the player had. So are we not incrementing a reference? Is that fancy little function I made that I felt so good about giving me a false sense of security? We increment the turn index. The turn index will reference a ship. The ship should be the next thing in the ship. Or the next ship in the turn. I wonder. What happens? If we run it twice. Yeah, it's screwing things up. It's not good enough. So this is exactly a spot where the logic is probably too stupid to do it the way I want to do it. The actual code in here is not structured correctly. So I need to consider what I could change to make this easier to tackle. First of all, let's use our fancy new function to increment the turn order. Okay, and then what we're going to do is NPC takes action. And I just want to confirm that even though I'm seeing the player ship take an action, it's NPC takes action, right? So it's literally just a reference. It's the reference to the actual ship. Let's have a look at world NPC ID, battle data, current turn index. Let's make sure that's what's getting incremented. Current turn index. That's right. Okay, I think I see now. The world NPC ID is not being updated. Yes, okay. So then we're still referencing the old NPC ID. And that's our issue. All right. So if we made it this far, then just update the world NPC ID just in case. There we go. Perfect. Nice. We did it. We did it the poor man's way. It's ugly and broke, but we did it. I did it with chat. All right. Now, is there other cleanup I could do? There probably is. For example, I have a function here that checks that goes through all the ships in the map, like the battle map, and then finds the nearest ship that is still alive and within range, like a targetable ship. And I think I use that in a couple places. That's a candidate for a function. The other thing that I want to do is add yet another attack mode. Which is crew attack. So the problem is I don't want to use... Yeah, no, I do actually. I do. I want to use crew attack. And I want to differentiate, when I say fire, I want to differentiate between cannon attack and crew attack. And right now I'm defaulting to cannon attack. So we got to sort that out. All right, so what happens if you're right next to a ship and you have the choice between a cannon attack and a crew attack? I'm gonna have to show both options. So I guess it's gonna have to be fire cannons or board ship. That's what it's gonna have to be. Fire cannons, board ship. That's it. Fire cannons, fire cannons. Board. Oops. Board ship. And we're going to create these like this. We're going to go like this. What? That was weird. Keyboard. Okay, we've got our choices. We need to create some strings. Okay, go all the way down to here. We'll copy two of these and we'll go fire cannons. And then we'll go board ship. Okay. Well, that ain't right. I added the strings. I need to... No, I added the strings, added the choice. Oh, one error. 645? Yeah, all right. I see. Duplicated. That's why I didn't show up. There we go. Okay, fixed. Okay, so fire will just be fire cannons. So I'll just shift that stuff over. And then board ship will be its own new thing. But it has to be, you have to have a valid ship to board, like near, yeah. And sometimes that validity happens after a move and sometimes it's before a move, or it could be both. So I'll have to sort that out. And then I can just take the logic that I have here, update it for fire cannons. If it's a board ship, then similar logic, but for like a crew-based attack. And at the end, you go to a state called crew attack, so that the renderer can render the crew attack. Okay. This is looking like it's doable. That's going to deal with our crew attack. We're going to have to update the NPCs so that they can also optionally do the same thing. Sometimes they'll want to just fire cannon, sometimes not. And then we'll have to update our our automatic end turn check. It's move and attack. And you cannot do both attacks. You cannot fire cannons and do a crew attack. You can only do one or the other and move. And once you've done both of those, your turn automatically ends, unless you only do one or none, and you manually end your turn. Now, here's the other thing. Is it possible for me to just constantly do a move? Yeah. So I want to block. Can I constantly do a fire? Yes. So I need to block, move, and fire if they have already been done. So let me go up. Let me just write a to do fire cannon and fire cannons and board ship. And up here, right in this area here, to do not move or attack if you've already done it. I have to add that right in there. And so then everybody will be locked into a specific order of events. Okay. Let's make sure I didn't break anything else. There's blackjack. Let's make sure that I didn't break the blackjack thing. Okay, I did that weird. Oh, I'm standing for sure. 10? What a loser. 16? Pfft. Yeah, and you're absolutely going to hit. 26, bust. Bust. Loser. Dealer can't even play blackjack properly. How much did I win? A bunch of money, I think. Let's go all in. 900. Let's do it. Oof. 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 I bet all my money. And I got a 16. Oh, this is bad. Oh, no. Oh, should I hit? Yeah, why not? 19. Oh, 20. Oh, I'm done. I might as well hit now. 29, that's it. Lost all my money. Better luck next time, jabroni. Better luck next time, jabroni. Okay, and the other thing I just quickly want to do is a little fun thing, just as a break. There's some text from some people that I added in the game, and I would like to update their text so it's really clear who's saying what. So I'm gonna go like this. There we go. Now it's clear who's trash talking me. There we go. Travis knows I can't even macro and see, although I can. Now let's go back down. This is fine, I think. Yeah, these are all the NPCs. That's fine. If we go back up to the battle state, maybe we can just quickly hammer out a blocker, a guard against doing multiple moves or fires, just with what we have. Yeah, prove it. Prove what? Prove that I can do macros? I don't have to prove anything to you, Arvis. You have to prove yourself to me. You're my mod. I'm not your mod. You're on my stream. You mod for me, which technically means you're my employee. So just, I'm sorry, but it's over for you. Haven't already? Nice. Okay. Damn, you good? I know, right? I'm in shambles. I'm wrecked. Now it over here. No, not over here. When I go to confirm the choice, that's what I want to do. Okay. Right. When it's the player's turn. And I do something like move. Well, not equals to true, I think. Then this is all good. We can move forward. So let's just see if this blocks us from doing multiple moves when we shouldn't be able to move. Okay. Yeah, can't do it. Sweet. But I can fire. Yeah. Good. Okay. And then I can do the same thing over here. Wait. This should say turn attacks. Okay. So if I do a fire, I should not be able to do another fire. Perfect. Okay. I'm concerned that the NPCs can do this. But I guess not. I guess what the NPCs are going to do, they're always going to move and they're always going to fire. And so they will always hit the end of their turn. Because we always just set those to true. So I guess NPCs are fine. It's just for players to not be able to repeatedly do that. Okay, perfect. So I guess we got rid of a to-do right away. Man, 2025 is looking hot. With all this code we're fixing, 2025 is going to be fantastic. I'm going to have a job. You guys are going to have whatever you guys need to have, maybe jobs or whatever. We're all going to have jobs. We're going to be writing awesome code. We're not going to be doing React. But just based on the vibes I'm getting from code today, 2025 is going to be banger. It's going to be banger. We're going to write a React 3D world for Amazon shopping and X viewing and make billions of dollars in crypto? Like I don't understand how you don't like 2025 already. It's already the best year there ever was. No year is going to be better than 2025. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. I give you my personal guarantee. Okay. This is an increment of turn. So scene ocean battle increment turn order. So we can do that. Let's see if there's anything else. That's for destroying ships. No, I think that's it. I think we got all the occasions where we increment the turn order. Okay. At least you're enthusiastic. I am. I'm gonna lose my virginity in 2025. Finally. I have a kid, but I'll finally lose my virginity. Let's just say the way that I had my current kid, a very complicated series of pulleys and pipes. Yeah. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do is I want to break out some of these states to actually deal with rendering and the mechanics that we want to have. And once the states are all broken out here, that'll give us a better idea of whether this thing is too crazy to handle with inlined if else switch case statements everywhere, with a bajillion of them, things like that. So gotta think about this. What are some of the states that I need to have in here? I have the crew attack. I have the cannon attack. I already know what that is. I'm moving. Maybe I have all the states already. Player's turn. Maybe NPC's turn. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Because when the NPC takes a turn, we probably want to render some things instead of just automatically taking the turn. Probably want to do something like on the rendering mechanism, we want to ask for that state, and if it's in that state, we want to be like, NPC whatever is taking their turn. You know, they called your mom fat, you know, something like that. So we probably want that. So let me take this out of here, and I'm going to put it down here. And so we need to handle this state. That's gonna have some stuff in the state when the NPC takes the turn. And then we might even want to break out the movement and the attack into their own states as well for the NPC, so that we can render little animations for them. Break out NPC actions, move and attack, so we can animate them in render. We also need to do board ship attack for NPCs as a like a random choice, because you can do board ship or fire cannon, and so the NPC needs to kind of like randomly decide what to do. Well, we can make it smarter later. Have NPC ships capable of running away when health is low, because we've already done a bunch of this to-do stuff. We've done this to-do. We need to do some of the heuristics on range and damage. Same thing here, but that's fine. We've got to do the board ship choice here and figure that part out. We have to do the orders where you can order your fleet to, so okay. What are the available choices to do order? Let's just kind of suss it out. Order, focus on ship. This has to let you go into a state where you pick a ship to focus on. So this is going to be a multi-state thing. Retreat, defend ship, same thing, same as focus on ship. What other orders do we want to give our fleet? I know. Focus on boarding. Focus on cannons. Any other things that I want to do? I don't think so. I guess just like whatever the default is, right? If you did give an order, you want to set them back to like their default thing. Defend ship, focus on ship, retreat. I typoed that. Focus on cannons, focus on boarding. I guess it would just be what's that other word for attack indiscriminately? Fire at will. Or attack at will. And then this will be the tricky part. What if NPC ships in your fleet that are not the flagship are automated by default. If you pass order manual as an order, you can then control each ship. Once you pass an order, ships go back to automatic. Hey Ayush, no, I haven't checked. I haven't looked at it. Oh yeah, there's a few of these around where it's just an OS on the browser. Yeah, they're really, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna wind the stream down then. And get some food and stuff and enjoy the rest of my night. Thanks everybody. Thanks everyone for being here. Let me find somebody to raid. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thank you for the subs and the follows today. I appreciate it. Thanks to Travis for the raid. I appreciate that. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I might come back on later. I'm not sure. I might come back tomorrow. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna try and stay consistent with my streams if I can. Plus, I'm highly unemployed, so I have time. Let's find someone to raid. Hang on, I gotta. Oh, I want to see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Same category. I want to see if we can, if there's anybody around who's like doing something similar. C? Maybe some C. Python cryptology? Sounds like magic. Because it's mythical, just like magic is. Learning C. That might work. That's at least close to what we're doing. Okay, learning C. Let's see what this guy's up to. Is intended for certain audiences? Sure. Are they doing that? They're actually learning C using an AI assistant. Hang on. Hang on. No, never mind. I thought somebody was giving me a suggestion. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Maybe we'll raid Matisse then. Sounds like someone you know. Yeah. Okay, let's go raid Matisse. I haven't raided him in a long time, anyways. And it's a pretty cool guy. So here we go. I'm not sure what he's up to, but I guess we're gonna find out. All right, thanks again, everyone, for watching, for being around, sticking around. I appreciate it. This was fun. I'll try and get back on as soon as I can. But yeah, Happy New Year's. Have a good night. Have a good day. And we're gonna be billionaires. Okay? I actually have to hit the start raid button. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be talking here forever, and we'll never raid. All right. Peace out.